Do you remember what a biography is? A biography is the story of somebody's life. Biographies are nonfiction. That means they're not made up. They are real. A biography tells the true story of someone's life. We are going to look at some biographies, but not in books. Today we're going to look at some articles online to learn about people. There are lots of good places to look online, but I know that this is one very safe place to look, and you can learn all about different people. What you need to do is go to the online library for UEN. You go to onlinelibrary.uen.org. It should pull up like this if you've already put the password in before, but if not, don't worry, the password is online, or the login name is online, and the password is database. Okay, so here's that information you need if you need to pause it to look as you go to the website. From here, there are lots of buttons to click, and any of these buttons are safe, good places to go. But I think the best one for you would be this one, Galen Context, Elementary School. It's the top one in the second column. So at the very top row. As you can see, there are lots of things you can learn about. You can learn about sports or science, geography, that's maps and different places. Literature, that's books, animals, social studies. But today we're looking for biographies. So where would I find a biography? Right here with people. And under people, you can pick out of all these different categories. There's all sorts of types of people you can learn about, whether that's explorers or athletes, musicians, maybe the US presidents or inventors. There are a lot of different people to learn about. Today, I'm going to click on historic figures. And once you're here, you see pictures of different people. Maybe these are people you've heard of before. Maybe they're not. Well, you could click on any one of them. There's also a list of more people down here. They don't have their picture at the top, but they are other people you can learn about. Like maybe you want to ask your parents and say, I've heard of Florence Nightingale, but who is she? You could look here. Or Daniel Boone, or Rosa Parks. Have you heard these names before? Do you know who Benjamin Franklin is? Clicking on these things will help you learn. Today, I'm going to pick Ruby Bridges, because look, it says who was Ruby Bridges, and I think that looks cool. So I'm going to go see who she is, because it's just like this little girl. And it will give me some facts and lots of things to learn about her. So starting at the beginning, it says Ruby Bridges. Ruby Bridges is an activist. She is an African American. She is famous. She went to a school with all white children. People were mean to her. She went away anyway. She was brave. Bridges was born in 1954 in Mississippi. She was one of 8 children. Okay, so it tells me a little bit about her. The quick fact says Ruby Bridges was the first African American student to attend an all-white school in Louisiana. She was only 6 years old at the time. That's like your age. She experienced a lot of racism at the school. Do you know what that is? Racism is when people are unkind to someone because they look different because of their race. That doesn't make a lot of sense, does it? So people were really, really unkind to her because she was African American or she is Black. So they were mean to her. Is that an okay reason to be mean to someone? Not at all, right? So she had to deal with a lot of unkindness. If you go here, there's some news stories and some magazines that talk about her and some biographies. These ones will be longer about her. And then you have a couple of pictures of her. So there's more information down lower, but there you go. That's kind of a little bit in a nutshell of what you can do. To help you know what these dots mean, the dots show us how hard the reading is. So most of my class will probably want to look for stories that have the 1 dot. Those ones will be the easiest ones for you to read. If there's 2 dots, that might be a little bit more difficult, but you can still do it. Same with 3, and then 4 is even harder, okay? So you can look through and pick something to read. I want to show you something up here though. Here is the Keep Reading button, and it opens up another biography of her. So there's lots of biographies, and this one's kind of on the short side, and it's a reading level 1, so it should be something you can handle. Or if you're not reading yet, there's this button that says listen. You click on that and you click play, and it will read it to you.
Bridges.
See? It's reading it.
About this person. Born.
But I'm here, so I will read to you today. Born September 8th, 1954 in Tylertown, Mississippi, United States. Occupation, civil rights activist. Nationality, American. Okay. Ruby Bridges was the first African-American child to attend the desegregated William Frantz Elementary School in Louisiana in 1960. And maybe you don't know this, but an activist is a person who works to make changes. Honor is to show that someone is important. So they give us some words that we might not know. Ruby Bridges is an activist. She is an African American. She is famous. She went to a school with all white children. People were mean to her. She went anyway. She was brave. Early life. Bridges was born in 1954 in Mississippi. She was one of 8 children. Her family moved to New Orleans in 1957. New Orleans had laws that were unfair. They said Black people could not go to some places. Black children were not allowed in schools with white children. The U.S. government said that was wrong. The government said all children could go to the same schools. Going to school. Bridges was picked to go to a white school. She was still very little, but she wanted to go. She wanted to show that she was brave. Bridges started at the new school in 1960. The school was William Frantz Elementary School. Bridges walked to the school. Her mother went with her. Police officers went too. They helped keep Bridges safe. Could you imagine having police officers come with you to school just to keep you safe? That probably made you a little nervous. White people were mad. They yelled at Bridges. They even threw things at her. But she went inside anyway. A famous painter named Norman Rockwell saw Bridges. He thought she was brave. He thought she did something important. He made a painting. It showed Bridges going to school. It was called The Problem We All Live With. Bridges still went to the school. Some people were mad. Her father lost his job. He lost it because people were mad. It was unfair. After school, Bridges grew up and had a family. She kept working. She helped others. She started a group. It helps children learn. Bridges went to the White House in 2011. President Barack Obama asked her to go. He wanted to honor her. He said she was brave. Awesome. So that is our biography today. You can go look and read and find out some more about others. Have a good one. Bye.